This is the 27th of April. I do have quite a lot of stock of eucalyptus plugs for sale. Before I get into the specific varieties and how many I've got, I wanted to update on what I'm doing in terms of my website from now on. I'm not going to be updating the stock on the website. I'm no longer going to use a buy online platform. I will still have my website. However, just get in touch on the different varieties and let me know what you would like to buy, what you're planning to do, and I'll give you my best advice. I'll also do a regular stock take update and regular updates on the pages of the different varieties that I sell. So, getting on to what stock I have. I've got lots of Eucalyptus regnans and they're in fabulous condition. Really strong, healthy roots and top growth. They really are just premium at the moment. So plenty of Eucalyptus regnans. And these are Murinana and they're last year's. They've been out for a while, but they've got good healthy growth on them. So I'll take offers for them, but I'll take offers on everything, to be honest. That's partly why I'm just having a get in touch system, because pretty much that's what everyone does anyway. They just get in touch. I give them a price depending on the quality of the stock I've got and availability of seed, etc. So quite a few Eucalyptus Murinana. They're more of a dwarf variety, perhaps getting to about 2-3 meters tall. These are yellow willow. They're experimental. I'd say they'll be a few weeks before they're ready, as with the hybrid poplars. Paulownia, these are last year's, so like I say, just a few of them at the moment here, but I've got more growing in the polytunnel. And large and medium Eucalyptus regnans. The large regnans are too big to ship, so they're either I'll plant them here or you come and collect, but they're in fantastic condition, as I say. Eucalyptus nitens in fantastic condition, really are healthy. I don't have many of these and seed is scarce, and I paid 10 times more for seed this year than I have previously, and not one of them germinated, so I'm not going to sell these off cheap. They're valuable. Get in touch, as I say, if you're interested. These are last year's Ovata, I think, and Eucalyptus are just amazing. They just come back so strongly. Anyway, those I'll probably pop in with other orders, so if you give me a reasonable order of another variety, then I'll still give away freebies, as it were. Leucoxylon. I didn't have much success here with Leucoxylon. I am on a north facing slope. I'm going to have another go with these up on the bank, which is more south facing, and I'll get more sun. Some stock, it's not in great condition, but they're healthy. Very healthy. So again, they're great for flowers and bees. Quite a lot of lavender, but lavender's cheap anyway. These are Robusta. If you can get them to grow, that's fantastic. They've just been too soft here. These have been in the polytunnel. I have planted a load more up on the south facing bank, so fingers crossed for these, but they're fabulously healthy and glossy and growing vigorously. So not going to let them go too cheap, but they're experimental. You would need to be on the coast with a south facing slope. These are Coquifera, grown commercially for floral foliage, and they're in good condition. They're last year's plugs, but they're healthy, pumping out good new growth now. And likewise, these are last year's, but they're Nephophila, another snow gum, and again, just fabulously healthy. Lots of good, healthy new growth on those. And these are my experiment for this year. These are hazel, and finally they've started to germinate and grow vigorously. So they're, I'll sell them if you want them, but they're pretty much just my hobby. I want to be growing my own food, so that's part of that. Perenniana, these were plugged up last year, but they're super healthy, super good condition. Lots of fabulous healthy new growth on them. Again, the large plugs are too large to ship, so you'll need to come and collect them. Passiflora, another snow gum, they're in fantastic condition as well, putting out good healthy new growth, so really pleased with them. And they're ready, as I say, good healthy strong roots on those. These are last year's Rodwai, another variety for which I can't get seed, and Rodwai have been amazing. For those of you who have bought Rodwai for me and think you're disappointed, go check out your fields of Rodwai again and see how much new growth there is on them. All of mine got burnt off severely, and I'm just gobsmacked because they're all sprouting again now. Anyway, as you can see, these are healthy, putting out good, healthy new growth. So although they're last year's plugs, I don't have any seed left, and they're very healthy. So probably around €3 each for them. Might discount a little bit if you're taking the lot. Parvula, another one grown for floral foliage, small leafed gum, and they've been beautiful. Those are Parvula there, form part of my shelter for this area, and as you can see, I've got a lot of them and they're just in fantastic condition. Again, just putting out lots of healthy new growth. So again, around about €3 each. I might come down slightly if you're buying a lot. They're very, very healthy. In the polytunnels, these are Perenniana, this year's Perenniana, and they'll be a while. Lots more Pulverulenta, and I'd say they're going to be 6 to 8 weeks before they're ready, but they're growing rapidly now. Quite a few Archeri. They would be a Gunnii substitute. Fabulous. They've done really well for me here. Very tough and hardy and strong. I do have a few Gunnii, though somebody's pretty much booked them, so I'll wait till I see what they have to say about that later today. And I've got more germinated, more growing, so if you're interested in Gunnii, get in touch and I'll put you on the waiting list. I've got a couple of Robinia pseudoacacia. I don't think they're going to do too well in here in Ireland. They've never done well here at Clonsnaughta. I am on a north-facing slope, as I say, but just haven't done well, so I'm not growing any more of them. I'll pop one in if you're buying other stuff. Lemon-scented gum, Citriodora. Again, I think they're too soft for Ireland. You can grow them in the polytunnel. The smell of the leaves is just extraordinary. It's just amazing. There's a few more Pulverulenta there, coming back strongly. So yeah, I've got Pulverulenta. Ovata, possibly those that I planted didn't survive the severe cold snap at the end of 2022, though they've all survived this year's cold snap, which was about 3 degrees less severe and probably more importantly less prolonged, and they're pumping out new growth. A swamp gum, so great for drying up boggy ground. They're also fantastic firewood. I'm going to plant more of them. So as you can see, good fresh stock of them growing very strongly, very vigorously. I'd say another, like I say, maybe 6 to 8 weeks before what's in the polytunnel here is getting close to being saleable, plantable. Cinerea, again on the soft side here for Ireland. They are growing in Ireland for floral foliage, but further down south, and I suspect on more clement south-facing slopes that aren't in frost pockets. Anyway, they'll be ready in perhaps 10 to 14 weeks. Globulus, definitely one of my picks. I'm growing lots more globulus. Really into them. They're same family as nitens, not quite as hardy, but they can be coppiced. So I'm persevering with globulus. Quite a few of those I planted towards the end of last summer have survived the -4 and the severe frost, severe verglass ice build-up, so more globulus. These are Viminalis. Viminalis have always survived here. They do get windburn, but interestingly most of mine seem to be acclimatizing and getting less and less windburn now. So Viminalis, again, these are all in the future 12 to 16 weeks. These are globulus. Like I say, I'm growing more globulus, and I've got more germinated, and I'll be plugging up more globulus, especially south-facing slope on the coast, nearer the coast where you don't get as severe frosts or as prolonged frosts. Definitely globulus. These are Galway mix, and these are indigenous seed, and I've high hopes for them being particularly hardy. So again, a gentleman gave me the seed. I think they're possibly going to turn out to be glossines from what the gentleman who gave me them said. They might possibly even be, there might be something else, but glossines seems like a good guess, in which case they'll be very tough and hardy, and because they're indigenous seed, they'll be more acclimatized to the Irish climate. So yeah, interesting to see what these turn out like. Again, possibly 8 to 12 weeks before they're ready. Some obliqua, they didn't like the severe frost at the end of 2022. I might plant 1 or 2 specimens. Not one I would recommend for Ireland, but if you're enthusiastic, let me know and I'll germinate more seeds. Camphora have done okay for me here. Like the ovata, did get burnt off, but putting out good, strong, fresh new growth. Those I've planted here on, as I remind you, a north-facing slope, which is a bit of a frost pocket. These 16 to 20 weeks perhaps before these are ready, so end of the summer. First polytunnel up here, Gigantea. I'm not sure how many of them I'm going to have. They're not great Gigantea. I'm not having a lot of success for them. I find them very temperamental in terms of environmental change. So if you take them out of this polytunnel and put them outside, they'd just go in a huff. Sempervirens. Got a few Sempervirens. These are Sequoia, giant Sequoia, and a few Meta Sequoia, and they're fabulous. So some Sequoia, not many. I'm germinating more seed in varying degrees of success. These are Fastigata, and they're just germinating. I'm going to have another go with Fastigata. They haven't done brilliantly well for me here, but I think they could be a good addition to the Irish forestry mix, though not as frost hardy as other varieties. Regnans, I'm a fan of Regnans now. I did get one survive the really severe frost at the end of 2022, and I'm betting I'm not going to get that for the next 5 years anyway. By the time those that I have planted out will be strong and healthy, so I'm growing more Regnans. But I've got good fresh stock of Regnans anyway. And as I said, globulus I'm going to start growing on a regular basis. Cineraria, these were given to me by a fellow enthusiast of seed, so I'm growing more Cineraria. Mixed views on Cineraria, they're not that hardy, but globulus, I'm still in the firewood game and big tree game for constructional timber, so globulus are just the right side of hardiness for me, providing you're, as I say, preferably south facing slope nearer the coast. Kamal julensis, I really wish I could get some of these to germinate and grow. Maybe these are germinating now, fingers crossed. Anyway, those in the background there are Meliodora, they're experimental. Subcrenulata, not a great germination rate or development rate for subcrenulata. Seed is very scarce, so I won't have many of them. Sequoias, Gigantea, getting a few of them germinating, and sempervirens likewise. And here's my gunnii, so I'll start plugging them up this week probably, but it's going to be definitely end of the summer before I have good stock of gunnii. Again, seed is scarce, so I'm letting all the trees that I have, gunnii trees here, grow so that I can collect seed from those. Ernagera, very tough and hardy, very frost tolerant, wind tolerant. I'd say 12 to 16 weeks before these are fully developed. Lots more Galway, and I do have some more seed of the Galway, and I'll continue to sow them. I think they're going to be just fantastic because they're indigenous Irish seed. Lots of Paulownia. These are tomentosa, Paulownia. These are all healthy, growing vigorously. Elongata. So yeah, quite a few Elongata, Nordmax. Like I say, Paulownia, I've cracked it with Paulownia now, but I will be selling them as small plants. So if these get much bigger than this, then you'll find that I ship them stooled down. Makes no difference in the first year. All you're looking for is to develop a root system. More Paulownia. These are Shantong, and I'm going to sow more Paulownia seed. I don't necessarily think they're going to be a huge advantage to the current hybrids. I don't think are going to grow particularly well here in Ireland, or the natural varieties. I think it's the winters are too wet and the summers aren't warm enough. Paulownia in Eastern Europe are doing well. They have freezing cold winters, but they're not as wet. But likewise, they have like 30-35 degrees regularly for a long period during the summer, which is why Paulownia do 4-6 meters a year there. Anyway, I'm not giving up on Paulownia. I think they're going to be grand. I'm looking forward to all the purple flowers. Here are some Ernagera from last year, and some subcrenulata from last year, and they've just started taking off recently. It has been pretty warm here in the polytunnel, but they've just recovered remarkably. So all of these were pretty much for the compost heap, but I left them and I feed them, and they're all growing vigorously now. Just astonishing. So these are Viminalis. I do have a few Viminalis to fill in on my patch, but if you're keen, like I say, I give these away as freebies if you give me a decent order, because they're last year and they have been scruffy, though they're healthy. These are Camphora. So there you have it. Those would be freebies if you give me a decent order. Lastly, in the polytunnels here, this polytunnel, these are Fortunii, Paulownia Fortunii, and most of them are from my wee patch here, but I might have one or two. I don't have a lot of seed of Fortunii. In fact, I don't have any more seed of Fortunii. I'll get some if possible. So, but yeah, I've got quite a lot of seed of other varieties which I'm going to sow. I don't think it actually matters here in Ireland too much you're going to want to take your best Paulownia and clone them and grow your own more acclimatized best hybrid. These are tomentosa, just a few new ones, but I do have good stock of Paulownia generally. Some of my eucalyptus trees are starting to become chunky and sturdy. Really pleased with the way it's turning out. Very happy. While I'm up here, this is a rod Y and pretty burnt off during the winter, though as you can see, lots of fabulous healthy new growth on it. Even this rod Y on the most exposed part of, possibly the most exposed part of my patch, and really burnt off, and you would think dead, but not so. It's starting to come out with really good, fresh, healthy shoots. They're just astonishing. So once these start to establish, they'll become more and more hardy. That's what happens with trees. The more mature they are, the more hardy they are. As can be seen by my best Viminalis here. Usually in previous years, they would just get so badly done by windburn that there would be no top growth on them at all. They would put out new shoots from lower down, so you would get a lot of raggy twigs at the top. Not this year. They're lush and healthy with new growth all the way. So looking forward to seeing how these develop now, whether they start growing at 3 metres a year. That would be mighty. I don't think I'll get that, but even a couple of metres a year would be good. In fairness, it hasn't been that severe a winter in terms of gales, and this is a globulus, and as you can see, starting to grow strongly now. A few of them did die back, but I am going to persevere with globulus. I think they're definitely something. There's a good chance in them for me here in terms of my fireweed strategy. There's another one pumping out good healthy new growth. If you look back through the videos, then you'll see me planting these rod Y here in December. And here you go. Here's the results, starting to put out healthy fresh growth now. And it's been cold and miserable and wet. Not all of them are thriving yet, though I'm hopeful that they all will, but I'd say at least 70. I think I planted 15, so say 10, so at least 60% with good healthy fresh growth on them. And now we're heading into summer, they'll start growing more vigorously. Fabulous. Perenniana they've always been tough and hardy here. There's one in Ennis. There used to be a field of them in Ennis. No issues with windburn, no issues with the frost. They're not a fast, tall grower, perhaps a metre a year, but as I say, very tough and hardy, very attractive blue foliage, especially the juvenile foliage, so a little touch of ragginess and windburn and frost damage, but good healthy new growth coming. So very happy with Perenniana. They're definitely more of an ornamental, but beautiful, very attractive. For globulus, like I say, I'm going to persevere with globulus. Once these get going, they're a 3 metre a year, a relative of nightends, and nightends have done pretty well for me here too. One or two of these have suffered a bit up top with the verglass. If you have another look through my videos, you'll see these were just covered in ice, solid ice for a day or so. These are the regnans I planted towards the end of last year, towards the end of the summer I'd say, beginning of autumn, and they're all coming back. They've all got fresh growth, and this one in particular, probably it's got better lighting conditions here, so any frost has burnt off faster, and also pretty sheltered in this wee spot. So like I say, I'm happy to recommend regnans. and ovata, just astonishing. Look at the new growth on that, just incredible. And these will shoot up, they really will. So I'm going to plant more ovata on my patch, just a fabulous firewood tree that can be coppiced. Camphora, these were pretty scruffy when they went in the ground and coming out with new growth now. So again, they're a bit sheltered down here, although those that I planted earlier on, yes, they've had a touch of wind burn, but look at the new growth on that one, just bursting. Fantastic. These are Rodwai on my most exposed and shaded bank. Very little sun and lots of exposure to the gales here. And I had thought some of these would be a goner, but look at that. Hopefully that's coming out there. New, fresh, new growth on these. So just fabulous. I'm really pleased. This one down here in particular, I thought, oh dear, maybe I've made a mistake, but nope. As you can see there, or hopefully you can see, nice fresh growth coming. So by the end of the summer, these will have recovered and hopefully grown another metre or so. Rodwai, a swamp gum that can be coppiced, grown commercially for firewood. Seed is scarce, I don't have many of them, and this is all that's left. So probably got about 300 that are in very healthy plantable condition. I do hope to be able to source more Rodwai seed. Interestingly, they are now on the list for which you can get grant aid here in Ireland. They're grown commercially for firewood. So like I say, for this year, this is all I have left. Anyway, as I say, if you're interested, get in touch. That's the way I'm going to do business from now on. Happy to give you best advice, always happy to have people come and look in person at what I'm growing here so that can assess exactly what they look like, exactly how they fared through the 6 years now that I have been growing eucalyptus here in Ireland. So like I say, happy for you to come round. Also, if you want to order and do mail order, then get in touch. I'll give you a price and we'll come to an agreement. Hope that helps. Meantime, thanks a mil for watching. Good luck.